Hey guys, it is getting closer to Christmas, and that means it is time for some Christmas crafts. Yep, apparently that's what that means. DIYing things can be so fun. It can add a little spice to your home decor, and it can really personalize a gift. So, we're gonna be doing 3 different DIYs, and honestly, they're all fairly easy. First, we've got this cute way to wrap cookies if you're gonna be giving them as a present or bringing them to Christmas events. Second, we have got a citrus garland. This one is so cute and I'm really excited for it. And then third, we have Christmas potpourri. All right, let's get started. We just so happen to have some freshly baked cookies. So we're gonna start off with the cookie wrapping. This DIY is so simple and you can do it so quickly. All you need are some small plates to put the cookies in between, some funky little ribbon, washi tape to keep the plates together, and then some fun candy tissue paper. Most of this I got from the dollar store, but unfortunately they just didn't have the tissue paper I wanted, so I did go to Michael's for this, but it was 50% off, so like whatever. Would you look at that? Freshly baked cookies. Okay, so start off by filling up our cookies. Beautiful. Then you're gonna grab a second plate and put her right on top like that. And then we're gonna use our washi tape just to tape the 2 plates together so they don't slide around. If you want it to be extra sturdy, feel free to add more tape. You know, do what you want. Now it's tissue time. I'm gonna use 2 sheets just so that it's extra reinforced. So we're just gonna place our cookies in the middle, fold one side over, and we're gonna tape it. Luna, what is it? Tape that baby down. All right. And then we're gonna fold over the other side. Tape that baby down. I should have mentioned to put your cookies upside down if you can, depending if they'll get like smushed. And then you can flip it over so that you have no seams on the top. So we're just gonna give it a little scrunch and we're just gonna tie it. It's as easy as that. We're gonna make it nice and frilly. And then we're just gonna do the same thing to the other side. And there you go, candy wrapped cookies. Okay, this is actually adorable. I think I'm gonna be doing this every single year. All right, now it's time for the dried fruit garland. This one is gonna be a little more work because we're gonna have to dry the fruit, which is gonna take 2 hours in the oven. And then we're gonna have to let them sit overnight before we can make them tomorrow. So let's get started. You don't really need a lot of stuff. You pretty much just need the fruit that you're gonna chop up and dry. So I'm gonna be doing oranges, grapefruits, and lemons. Then you need some dull, I think they're knitting needles, embroidery needles. So the edge is dull, so you're not gonna like stab yourself. Some embroidery thread. I chose like this cream color. You can do brown, you can do orange, do whatever you want. And some parchment paper. I did originally want to get cranberries so I could do just a full cranberry garland, but the store doesn't have cranberries and they're apparently not going to get them until a few weeks before Christmas. So we're just going to have to stick with the dried fruit. But if you can find cranberries, I think a cranberry garland would be freaking adorable. All right, to the kitchen we go. I really wanted to try this with blood oranges, but of course my grocery store didn't have any, so we're just doing grapefruit, oranges, and lemons. If you can find blood orange, I think that contrast in color would just be gorgeous. Okay, and then we're gonna wanna slice these pretty thick. Make sure to slice it against the grain so that you have that nice pattern. So I think about that size would be good. That one is perfect. Now just lay them all side by side on the parchment paper and then they're gonna go in the oven. Now this is my first time doing this, but apparently you can have them touching because they are gonna shrivel up a bit. Beautiful. Now onto our grapefruit. That is so pretty. I think I might be doing these too thick. There's not a lot of room left, so I think we're just gonna do 2 lemons. You know what? I think there is enough space for at least another one. Wow, perfect. And then we're gonna put them in the oven for 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4 because they're so thick. And I think we have to flip them as well. So maybe in an hour, I'll give them a good old flip. Oh my god. So we might have to redo some of the slices. The lemons got destroyed At a certain point, I just gave up on them and tried to finish the grapefruit, but the lemon juice leaked onto those, and now those look burned. Honestly, these orange slices aren't looking too bad. A couple of them got burned, but like whatever. And same with these ones, like not too bad. Again, a couple got burned, but yeah, so I think I'm just gonna let them relax a little bit and we'll see what they look like in the morning. All right, so out of everything we made yesterday, this is all we have left. I did have to scrap the tray of lemons and grapefruits because they were too far gone. These oranges and grapefruits I'm gonna throw back in the oven probably for another hour. They still are a little moist. I also bought a few more oranges. We're gonna cut them a little thinner this time, and we're gonna hope that this goes a little better than the last. On the bright side, I did get 5 pretty decent orange slices. All right, we are cutting them thinner this time. I can do it. Thin. Cut thin. I feel like this is the perfect size. Right?
Let's pat them dry too. You know, try and get some of that juice out.
Another little pot, you know, just in case. Maybe this will even just make it a little quicker. All right, round 2, here we go. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Okay, the dried citrus is actually looking pretty good. Only a few grapefruit made it, but I feel like it's looking how it's supposed to look. Okay, that did take a little longer than expected, but we finally figured out how to properly dry citrus. You gotta cut it thinner, much thinner than I did that first time. And then once it was the proper size, it took about 3.5 to 4 hours in the oven. And now they look how they're supposed to look. Like, this looks perfect. It looks so good. Okay, we've got a couple set aside for the Christmas potpourri, but otherwise we're pretty much ready to make the garland. I also went to Metro, the 5th grocery store, and finally found cranberries. So we're also gonna do a little cranberry garland. So we wanna make sure we have enough to do a nice garland, and then to also loop it at the end so that we can like hook it onto whatever you're gonna be hanging it off of. Oh my god, it has become a giant knot. Okay, this looks like more than enough. So let's thread our needle. All right, and I guess we're good to go. So we put the thread through right by the rind, and then we're gonna tie a knot and leave a little bit of extra so that we can hang it on the wall like that. All right, and then we can just keep poking it through until we're done. Once you've got it going, it's just like poke and drag and poke and drag. You can even put little cranberries between the orange slices, or you can space out the orange slices. You can do whatever you feel like doing. Once we've dried the fruit, it's pretty easy. It's just getting to this point that, you know, we may struggle a little bit. And that's okay. That's the fun of DIYing things, you know? You never know what's gonna happen. Okay, and I think we're gonna stop here. So let's take our needle out. And I feel like this is perfect. I'm planning to put it on my garland over there. So I feel like I'm gonna end up spacing them out as I put it up. So let's do our cranberry garland. Oh my god, where did the end go? So for this, I'm just using fresh cranberries. We have pretty much like the same amount of rope, and we're just gonna stick them straight through. And then we're going to tie a little knot so it does not fall off. All right, and now it's just poke and go and poke and go and poke and go. It's honestly just kind of beading a bracelet, but a giant version. Okay, I feel like that is a good length. Let's tie another knot. All right, and there we have it. We have 2 gorgeous fruit garlands. All right, let's put them up. I had this idea to kind of intertwine it in the garland by my window, because I feel like the citrus, the greenery, and the cranberries would just look so good together. I love it. All right, now we are finally onto the 3rd and final Christmas craft, Stovetop Potpourri. For this one, you do need a few more things, mainly spices. So we need jars to put all the spices in, our dried fruit, and then you can kind of play around and do whatever spices you want. So I'm gonna be using cloves, star anise, dried cranberries, cinnamon sticks, vanilla beans, and candy canes. And then we're gonna be using some twine to put on the jars, as well as to hold the Stovetop Potpourri
instructions. I printed this off from a website that I linked in the description if you want to print them off for yourself as well. So I'm gonna be doing 2 of each kind because I feel like each person that I'm giving this to kind of has different preferences, so I'm trying to cater them more towards who I'm giving them to. I'm realizing now that my orange slices are not gonna fit in this jar. Shit. You know what, we'll come back to those ones. So the first one is gonna be a little more candy forward. We're gonna be using our candy canes, 2 candy canes per jar, 3 cinnamon sticks. I think it's impossible not to break a candy cane, so it's fine. A few star anise. You know what, since we've got the room, I'm just gonna add a little bit more. I'm gonna do another cinnamon stick, maybe 1 or 2 more candy canes, and a few more star anise. Because I feel like these you can really cater towards the person or however you wanna do it. And then we have got our vanilla beans. 2 down, 4 to go. I think for the dried oranges, I'm just gonna break them up. Like, I don't know what else to do. And I don't think it really matters. Like, it's still gonna be the same scent. Let's see if I can break it nicely. I think I'm gonna do 3 slices per jar. And then some dried cranberries, a couple cinnamon sticks, and then we're gonna top it off with a few cloves. Another 2 done. And then for this last one, I think I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna finish off the cinnamon sticks. I'm gonna do more citrus. The citrus honestly smells so nice, and I feel like cinnamon and citrus are probably my favorite scents out of all of these. And then I think I'm just gonna top them off with a couple cloves, because I feel like cloves really remind me of Christmas. And the last 2 are done. Let's cut out our cute little signs. I'm just gonna make a little hole in the top corner for the twine to go through, because not everybody knows what to do with Stovetop Potpourri. And then we're just gonna feed our twine through that hole and just tie it to our jars. And there you have it. Cute little Stovetop Potpourri. I was just thinking you could even get some glue and just glue them straight onto the jars. That might even be a little cuter. You know what? I think for 3 of them, I'm just gonna leave the tags off and just throw them in the bags with them, just because I think it's a little cuter without the little instructions on them. All right, and there you have it. 3 different kinds of Christmas Stovetop Potpourri. I am actually so happy with how these turned out. I feel like all of these crafts were actually fairly easy. Besides the little mess up with drying the fruit, this wasn't so hard. But that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you try any of these crafts. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys at the next one. Love you.